Yeah.
Obviously, not the results you were looking for. If you can give us the rundown of what do you think?
Yeah, we're disappointed. There are a couple of areas that we let ourselves down. I think our discipline in the first 20 overs with the ball was uncharacteristically poor. Our extras, I think, were about 30, 35. So that's an indication we were just off a little bit. We've worked hard on little things, but to have a number of extras and no balls suggested a couple of things, maybe just the pressure of the occasion for some. But the fact was we were just off, and after winning, I think, a good toss.
Sorry, whose phone is ringing?
A good start. We were a little bit messy, and that's something we haven't been. It's something we've been working towards in training and our discussions in a short period of time, and made some good gains. But we just lacked accuracy today at key times. The last 4 overs is a really good indication, but you go back to extras, and we're put under pressure by an excellent innings as well. It's not all about us. Aidan Markram played a really good innings under pressure in the first 6 overs, and there to capitalise. So, yep, we were a little bit underwhelmed by our performance, but also appreciate it was a fine 100 as well.
Obviously, most actually we've seen before, most teams win the toss first. They kind of going up to win the game, but today that wasn't a factor.
Unfortunately not.
Coach, I just want to know the thinking behind bringing Gerald in at the top of the...
Yeah, we got caught a little bit with Reese's hamstring. He was we ran out of time, so he wasn't allowed to open the batting. And rather than just take a conservative approach and put a batter up, we thought we might be able to just create a bit of havoc in the first 2 or 3 overs by sending Gerald in there, who can hit the ball well. It was a bit of a risk, but to be honest, after going for 213 and having to regroup, taking a positive approach was something that I wanted to do. Losing Faf the first ball was not the plan. But yeah, just try and break it up. We were three minutes out, but it was enough to, again, create a bit of disruption in our order, and we just wanted to try and be positive. The first 5 or 6 overs with the new ball are testing, and we thought if we could get a bit of a march on there and create something different, that it might be a bit of an edge, knowing that the last 10 overs you can catch up. So the other thing was rain, which was always hovering. So it was a horrible game actually to be involved in, just to try and strategically get it right. So it was a bit of guesswork, and that one we just decided to be positive.
Gentlemen,
it's obviously the end of the competition now for you, but what did you make of the SA20?
Oh, I think it's been fantastic. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Our players have enjoyed it. I think the South African cricket fans have enjoyed it, which is the most important thing. And I think it's great that, again, crowds have come back. I was disappointed to hear that crowds hadn't been there, but to see them back and have a full house at in PE, which was St George's, which was a great occasion, and then at the Wanderers, these guys haven't experienced that. To see them thrive and respond to that is only good for South African cricket. There's a real purpose to this tournament, and I think the players have really stood up to that as well, and the spectators have got behind it. I hope it's a good final, because it deserves it. It's been a great tournament. Yeah.
Stephen, I've got one cheeky question and one serious one.
Okay.
How much do you think you would have gone for in an auction?
Me? I would have to pay to get into a team, mate. Yeah. Tell me that's a serious one, yeah?
Yeah, that's a serious question. In terms of talent that you found here in South Africa, coaching South African boys, what have you found, anyone who stood out to you either in your team or opposition that, obviously not the big...
Oh yeah, there's talent. There's probably a little bit of lack of confidence. And when you get it on a bigger stage, you sort of see it come through. So there's a personality to it that the young players and young talent have to believe that they're good. It just feels a little bit beaten up over the last few years. So it was about for us getting our young players confident and that they can actually play at this level. It's a level, you'd say, between domestic and international when you got good international players playing. So it's a really important stepping stone. And it's also really important to identify new talent coming through. And I think we've seen some of that. Makanya was a reserve player for us. He didn't get a great opportunity with the bat, but what a great kid. And he provided a huge amount to this team, and for the future he will be an important player. So there's talent all the way through, not just the top guys, but there's talent coming through, which is good.
Yeah.
Stephen, despite such a really wretched start for you guys, and as you say, the ball was still nipping around with the new ball
Yeah.
I mean, at one stage, I think 80 was needed off 28 balls. I guess I was quite pleased that they still managed to push it, that it was still relatively close. When we went to the final over, still into the shout, it just shows you what is possible in the last round.
Yeah, you got to remember I've had 15 years of Dhoni, so I'm used to some of those heroics. And look, the power of some of these players today, anything is gettable, and that's the mindset. Look, Shepherd's in the dressing room almost disgusted with himself for missing out on 3 sixes. And that's the quality of the power of some of the players that are in the game now, the talent and the skill to execute. And the bowlers, it's hard. Our bowlers today took the gas a little bit under siege, and we were hoping to get the same, but they held strong. But the batting in the last 5 or 6 overs can be brutal, especially if the pitch is playing like that.
Last question.
Coach, looking at SA20, what has brought you so far the success, how far do you think the gap is to compete with the likes of IPL and other world tournaments?
Probably about $80 million. It's not far, talent-wise. Look, IPL's a beast, isn't it? India, with the TV rights and interests, they've just grabbed the imagination of the Indian public and cemented itself as just a world-class global tournament. What we're seeing now is the emergence of a lot of tournaments around the world. One thing I will urge is that there's real purpose with tournaments that are put in place. This one has obvious, the importance is obvious because South Africa gave up some one-day international points because they see this as a crucial part of moving forward, and that's why I'm so pleased for them that it was a success. You can't compare it to IPL. IPL is just a beast on its own. But what you can do is get a very successful domestic tournament, and then if supporters get behind it, sponsors get behind it, then you're in a really good shape. And I think that potentially is the case here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.